Victor Osimhen is a special player. Not only is he one of the most exciting strikers in the world, he also rejected a massive move to Saudi Arabia, so good for him. But anyway, Osimhen has proven over the last few years that he is definitely one of the best strikers in the world, being the best player in the Serie A last season, winning Napoli their first Scudetto in 33 years. But with just 18 months left on his current deal and links to big Premier League sides, why does everyone want to sign Victor Osimhen? If you want to find the answers to these questions, please watch the rest of the video and please like and subscribe for more football content. It's safe to say anyone that watches European football definitely has heard the name Victor Osimhen. He has been a consistent goalscorer in most of his European career at different leagues. And in 2020, when Napoli decided to play a club record of 80 million euros to bring him in, then he definitely got his name out there. And finally last season, when he kept the injuries to a limited amount, he ended up showing everyone in the world what he can do, scoring 26 league goals and over 30 in all competitions. So obviously scoring that many goals is going to get the attention of a lot of big teams. Victor Osimhen is a right-footed centre forward who brings a big presence to the opposition penalty area, being at 6'1" tall. And his goals come in a variety of different ways, and he's adept in the box with both feet and his head. This ability, combined with the strength and the timing of his movements, make him very dangerous when close to the goal. And while 6'1" is not the tallest striker out there, he is certainly very good in the air with an impressive jump, which he often beats his direct marker in the air, which often makes him score a lot of goals from his head. And that is often accomplished by the fact that he's very good at generating power with his headers or guiding them with whipped balls, so he is definitely a massive danger in the air in every cross that comes in. He is also a very proactive striker. He looks for second phase balls a lot inside the penalty areas and looks for rebounds, deflections and errors, being a bit of a poacher as well. Osimhen usually targets his runs towards space at the back post. He likes to peel off his marker away from the ball to move onto the blind side of his opponent before attacking the far post. This also allows him to go to the near post without the defender being able to react quick enough if he sees that the ball is obviously to the front post. And although this is typical brilliant striker work, because he's so fast and so physical, he usually wins these duels quite easily and just gets to the end of the ball in any situation. And obviously, with him being such an aerial threat, he is so good from set pieces, corners and free kicks he scores often from when he gets the header and the cross towards him. Now often there's this idea by old footballers that you have to be selfish if you're a striker and you can't pass it, but Osimhen is actually very unselfish despite obviously being a brilliant striker and still scoring a lot of goals, which I think nowadays in football is a bigger asset than being selfish anyway. Because often Napoli actually like doing quick counter-attacks, especially last season when they won the league, Osimhen often finds himself outside the area, so he can't just operate inside the air waiting for a goal. He winningly makes consistent runs into the channels, which creates space elsewhere on the pitch, and he also provides a counter-attack and outlet with his pace on the break to help Napoli get up the pitch. Naturally, Osimhen is also a target from central play. After pinning an opposition centre-back, he can often hold up the ball or flick it into oncoming runners. He also is very good from goal kicks, bringing the ball down or heading it onto someone else, and this can help teams get out of a high press quite quickly. Another thing that makes Osimhen so great on the counter-attack is that he is actually a traditional striker as well, and he's so good at running in behind from the last defender. This is something that often big strikers don't usually do, but obviously we've seen the emergence of Erling Haaland do it and see how successful he has been in the Premier League as a big physical striker also running in behind. Well, Osimhen can do that too. He likes to bend his runs intelligently to remain onside, while his strength allows him to hold off opponents who attempt to disrupt him. This allows him to run in behind and basically do what he wants and get a good finish away in a 1v1 situation. Often though, Osimhen doesn't usually get a pure one-on-one. He often puts himself a bit too right or a bit too left of the goal, but he still gets away a shot and sometimes it still ends up going in. And he sort of just plays how he needs to in the team. Without the ball, Osimhen works incredibly hard and he is happy to compete for aerial duels and press with intensity. As a lone centre forward, he is adept at locking the opposition's play on one side of the pitch and is particularly effective at blocking switches between two centre backs. His acceleration makes him an effective presser and he's smart with his decision making. Now, if the rumours are to be believed, as such as a team as Arsenal going in for Osimhen, then if he was there, he would obviously play as the lone striker. Obviously, he does have Odegaard and the two wingers coming in, helping him with the goal scoring and creativity. And Osimhen is used to playing as a lone striker. He has hit double figures for league goals for 5 consecutive seasons with Napoli, Lille and Cherelot in the Belgium league, and that is all about him playing by himself. He runs in behind from Napoli's 4-3-3 shape to help the team's wide pairs. The width provided by the fullback and winger pairs of Di Lorenzo and Politano on the right and Rui and Olivier or Kvaratskhelia on the left creates a regular passing lane back inside from the fullback. And with the fullbacks pushed up, this often makes the defenders go towards them, which means Osimhen is in 1v1 against one of the centre-backs on the other team, usually isolating them so he can run past them or be physical in the possession. And because he is so big and so consistent, you just trust him in them 1v1 situations against anyone. He will probably body them and get past them and use his acceleration to pace past them. This would be amazing for a team like Arsenal because they'd be able to retain possession in midfield and keep the fullbacks up, with Ben White obviously pushing there. And with Saka striker usually having a 2-on-1 against him anyway, he would have draw a lot of the players towards him, which means Osimhen would definitely be isolated with a defender. And if Osimhen can show the same strength and conviction that he did at Napoli, then I'm sure at Arsenal or Chelsea or any other team in the Premier League he will be as good for as well. And he would definitely get the opportunities in these big creative sides. But to me, the key thing that puts Osimhen apart from other players, I mean, obviously you're going to look at the goal scoring because it's still at a very high level and not really many players are doing it, is the fact that his movement is genuinely world class. Osimhen has had to change how he played at Napoli quite a few times, because a few years ago all he did was run in behind and wait for the chances to come to him. But with the signing of Kvaratskhelia, who's obviously a massive part of Napoli's title winning side last season as well, he's had to adapt how he plays with Kvaratskhelia to create a partnership there to make both of them as effective as possible. Kvaratskhelia always wants to move inside. He starts on the left and wants to cut in on his right foot most of the time. And Osimhen has a clear understanding of this now, so when to look to receive but also the right moment to start drifting away, he knows now what Kvaratskhelia is and what he needs to do. If he moves too early, one of the opposing centre-backs is likely to be able to engage Kvaratskhelia, but if he moves too late, he is unlikely to make the penalty area in time to have an impact, so he has to make sure that time is correct. This is something that I think could be really helpful to a team like Arsenal, as Saka can definitely do great crosses in, and Osimhen knows when to jump and where to stand and where to make the runs. He also has that understanding to come close and be able to help with the build-up play to maybe get the ball in behind for Martinelli on that left so he can cut in and maybe get back in the box. This is what Arsenal needs. They need to have that creative impact to get Martinelli in behind, which of course Eddie Nketiah just doesn't have, and Jesus does, but he's never fit. So not only does he have also that creative part to his game, obviously he's a brilliant goal scorer. We've seen it for years. He scored so many goals last season, and if consistently he scored loads of goals in the last 5 years. Osimhen was a clear reason why Napoli won their first Scudetto in 33 years, not just for the fact he scored most of their goals and was their best output, he was also tactically one of their best players and helped them so much going forward. And when he's not in the team, they are definitely nowhere near the same. And with someone that has the same physical capabilities of someone like Erling Haaland, I actually do think he'd be perfect for the Premier League. I do think he's physical and he'd be very good. I don't see any struggles there. Of course, he is going to cost over 150 mil, probably one of the most expensive players of all time, just for who he's wanted and the fact that the Saudi offer got rejected for 150 mil last year. But with him not looking like he wants to re-sign after all the TikTok shenanigans with Napoli, and with only having a year left on his contract, they realistically do have to sell, so maybe you could get him for a cheaper deal. And there is still very many good other strikers out there. People like Evan Ferguson are brilliant and they do actually operate very similar. Osimhen is a clear plug and play player that is definitely at the top level right now, and if you get him, he would automatically make your team much better, I think, for any team in the world, probably other than Man City. And with Osimhen not being fully fit again this year, there is definitely issues with his injury record. He definitely has shown he deserves to be at the top of the game, as he's fired Napoli to a historic title win, but this season it's not been the same level and he's been injured a lot, even though when he does play he's still so good. But as he is a complete forward and he's in the prime years of his career, I'm not surprised that so many teams want him. And whether he is in Napoli or what he does next season, then I know he will be great anywhere he goes. Let me know where you think Victor Osimhen should go, and let me know how good you think he is in the comments. Also, let me know who you want me to do next and I'll look into it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.